What is up, guys? Today we are going to be talking about how to do calf raises with bands. So I am going to show you two of my favorite calf movements using resistance bands, and what you're going to need for these, or what makes it work the best, is the Clench Fitness foot plate, and I'm going to show you why in a second. All right, first exercise, we are going to be doing donkey calf raises. Now that exercise, you're going to basically hang your heels off of the foot plate, and then you're going to bend over into a 90-degree angle, and we're going to put the band right around our back, and then we're going to be doing some raises like this. Now the reason they call them donkey calf raises is because back in the 70s, when bodybuilding first started getting big, you'd see guys like Arnold Schwarzenegger and stuff in the gym doing these exercises, and the way that they'd load themselves up is by actually putting people on their back, and they'd ride them like a donkey. All right, so to set this up, you're gonna grab yourself a 41-inch band and grab a heavy one because your calves like heavy, and also the range of motion on this is really short, so you're gonna need a lot of resistance right off the bat. I'm gonna start with an orange band, and I slip it right around the end channel here because our feet are going to be hanging off the end just like this. And then once you get that in there, I always like to put some kind of a weight on the front of this, and if you don't have a dumbbell, you can just grab something heavy, whatever, to weight the front of this down, because we're going to be putting all the load back here, so it's going to want to pick the plate off the ground. So to load this up, get your band into a comfortable position, and then all you got to do is squat down, hook it around the small of your back, and then stand right up, keeping that 90-degree angle, and then we're going to hang our heels off as much as we can, and then try to get a little bit of a forward lean, because that forward lean is going to stretch out that calf muscle even more. And then what we're gonna do for this exercise is you're gonna let yourself all the way down, get as close to the floor as you can without touching and resting, and then drive those ankles and squeeze those calves, get up on those toes, and then back down and back up. And it's all about going slow and controlled here. You don't want to be bouncing off the floor. Like, to get the real work out of this exercise, it's all about control and keeping that load in the calves, not bouncing off your tendons and using momentum to do the exercise. So that is how to do the donkey calf raise in a nutshell. One thing I do want to show you is, since the current foot plate has pretty low ground clearance and you can't really drop your heels as much, we actually created a riser kit, which I'll show you on this one. It includes 8 rubber feet that'll actually raise this plate off the ground an additional ½ an inch so that you can get more ground clearance. And what that'll do is, obviously it gives you more ground clearance, plus you can actually stack multiple bands together. So if you want to get like really heavy with these donkey calf raises, so we're gonna stack a couple of bands together, and just to show you that this is possible, I'm gonna load myself into these. Bam, now we got some real weight here. And as you can see, we're further off the ground, so I can get deeper into this here and really get some real force on those calves. And this is how I like to do calves. All right, and one more tip. If you're looking to get even more clearance, you can always like set this up against kind of like the top step on a flight of stairs, so that you can hang your heels over and let your heels drop down below the step. That way you can get the most, like, the whole goal here is to get the most ankle flexion, right? You want to stretch that calf muscle out as much as possible, and then drive it and extend it all the way up so that you're on your tiptoes. All right, so the next exercise that we're gonna be doing is a standing calf raise. We're gonna be hanging onto this 41-inch band, just like we would, it'll kind of feel like a dumbbell standing calf raise, or like a hex bar standing calf raise if you've done those. All you have to do, grab yourself a 41-inch band, slip it into one side of the channel here, and as before, make sure that you have some kind of counterweight or something holding the other side of the board down. I'm going to use a pair of Clench band handles here.
So I'm just gonna pop my handles right onto my clench band. And then it's gonna be very similar to before. We're gonna be hanging our heels off the side. We're gonna get into that standing position and then kind of back off as much as we can. Standing up nice and straight, keeping that spine neutral, keeping our core locked and our arms down to their side. They're not really doing anything but holding this weight. And then we're just going to be doing flexion and extension of that ankle joint. Again, keeping everything under control. Don't rest and sit all your weight into the floor. You want to keep tension on that muscle the whole time. Get as much flexion as you can, and then drive all the way through and get flexion. And get as high up as you can, keeping it nice and controlled. And crank out as many reps as you can. And you should really feel these. One thing you can also do is, of course, you can change your foot position. So I'm kind of like straight on right now. You can go kind of the pigeon-toed version where your toes are together, or you can also do the duck fit version. That's gonna work different portions inside versus the outside of your calf muscles. So you can throw those in to really develop your calves. All right, so try both of these variations out. Let me know which ones you like in the comments and what you liked about each one of them. If you need any of the equipment, be sure to head over to clenchfitness.com. We will link it all in the description. You got the foot plate, we got the riser kit for the plate, we got the bands, we got the handles, you name it, it's on clenchfitness.com. Also, if you like what you saw today, be sure to smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, and click the bell notification to make sure that you can get more of this content and also help us to grow our channel. And as always, thank you for watching, and I hope you learned something today.